Alright, so picture this. It's the summer of 2023, I'm living out in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm running 90 to 100 miles a week. I'm feeling great, I'm strength training twice a week, and everything is going super smoothly. Fast forward to August and I moved back to Mississippi, and I kind of start neglecting my strength training. I'm still running super high mileage, I'm doing a lot of it on pavement now, and my body kind of starts to reject what I'm doing. On September 5th, after a hard workout, I started to notice a little bit of a flare-up in my shin. I went to the doctor and got an MRI, and they said I had a stress fracture in my tibia and wouldn't be able to compete this season. I was upset, but I knew whenever I started back running, I would need to integrate more strength training into my routine. And for that reason, I think strength training is one of the most important things that runners can do because it makes you more durable and it also makes you faster. With that being said, today I'm going to take you through my strength training routine that I usually do about 2 times a week. Keep in mind that this is only one of the strength sessions that I do throughout the week, and my second strength session is usually a little bit different than the first. I'll put the other variation in the description, but for now, let's get into the video. Today we are at the gym, and I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I like to do as a collegiate distance runner to keep everything running smoothly, to keep all my muscles strong, to make sure I'm avoiding injury. And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you what those lifts are. I'm gonna show you the usual stuff that I incorporate. Before we start, I'm actually gonna mix up some BPN pre-workout. This is their Flight. This stuff is incredible. It tastes amazing. This is a blue raspberry flavor. This is the one I'm drinking right now. And if you wanna get a little bit of a discount, you can use code BROCK, and that will actually support the channel, support everything we're doing here, as well as support the friends over at BPN. So go pick up some BPN, and that's what I'm gonna be drinking before we go in there, start lifting, throwing around some weights. Hopefully, not too crowded in there. Every time I lift, I like to do some sort of isometric warm-up. This is the warm-up that we usually do at school, and I actually didn't record the whole thing, but the main thing you're really trying to focus on is just getting those muscles warmed up. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It can just be some leg lifts, split squat holds, and isometric hamstring holds. Like I said, the main thing you're focusing on here is just getting those muscles warmed up so you can lift without worrying about tearing anything. So for the first exercise, what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab some dumbbells, and we're gonna do 2 dumbbell single leg RDLs. Right now we're gonna start with 35s for each of the dumbbells, and so that's gonna be 70 pounds on each of the hamstrings, which is a pretty good amount of weight just to load up a single hamstring, and so that's what we're gonna start with. The main thing you're gonna wanna focus on with these is that you're feeling some pull in that hamstring, and then I also like to add in some knee drive. These can also be done with a single dumbbell or a kettlebell if you don't wanna load it up with quite as much weight. So now we're gonna do some goblet squats, and with those goblet squats, we're gonna alternate between the RDLs and the goblet squats. We're gonna probably start at 75 pounds, maybe make our way up to 90 depending on how we're feeling. With goblet squats, you really wanna focus on getting a deep squat while also controlling that weight and keeping your back straight. In this exercise, you're mainly gonna be working the glutes and the quads, so try to make sure you're activating the right muscles. They're gonna move up to 40 pounds this next set of RDLs. We're gonna do 5 of those on each leg, and then we're gonna go back to the goblet squats. Usually I like to alternate between 2 or 3 different exercises whenever I'm lifting. So right here, we're doing the single leg RDLs, and then we're going over and doing the goblet squats, and then we're kind of going back and forth between the 2. It's really kind of up to you on how you want to do it though. If you want to take standing rest between all your sets and just do them all together, then you definitely can. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats are great for building strength above the knee and in the quads. I really try to focus on getting that back knee down as low as I possibly can and keeping my foot flat on the bench. If you want an alternative version of this that's a little bit easier, you can just do 1 dumbbell on that back leg. So between these, we're actually gonna do some single arm dumbbell rows. Those will probably be like 40-pound dumbbells. And we're just gonna work on our rows. It's good to work on those back muscles, the shoulders, and get everything kind of good so your form stays together whenever you get into those later parts of the races. So that's kind of what we're focusing on now. It's good to have upper body strength, and we're also gonna do some pull-ups and probably some push-ups later too. So often I see runners neglect their upper body strength, but it's just one of those things that you need to have. It's not one of those things that you really wanna work all the time, but it's definitely good to work at some. So right now we're gonna do some lateral lunges with some plates, and then we're gonna go over, we're gonna do some push-ups and some pull-ups, and then we're gonna pretty much be done with most of our workout, and then we're gonna finish out with a little bit of core, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes worth of stuff. So I like to get as deep as I can in these lateral lunges, but they're definitely not something I'm great at. After the lunges, I went over and I did 10 pull-ups and 20 push-ups, and then on the following sets, I just kind of did them until failure. The second set was 8 and 20, the third set was 5 and 20, and the fourth set was 3 and 15. Push-ups and pull-ups are just one of those things you should definitely integrate into your routine because they can help so much with running form and economy. Last thing I'm gonna do is a med ball ab circuit. This is usually one of the things we do back at school, and gets the abs going well, gets everything rolling, so yeah. For this circuit, we usually do 3 sets of 10 and we do med ball sit-ups, med ball crunches, and med ball flutter kicks. In the video, I'm using a 10-pound med ball, but you can go as heavy or as light as you want to. The main thing you're really trying to focus on with these is just activating the core as much as possible. So that's all we got for the lift today. We're back at the house. I gotta get some dinner and maybe some protein. I know my dad's making ribs, so maybe that'll just be my protein intake for that. But yeah. Definitely a good lift. Happy with that. It's the first lift I've done in a couple weeks, and yeah, I'm in an off period of running, so I'm not really doing a whole lot right now. So it's good to just get there and get a lift in, and that's something you can incorporate into literally all your training weeks. It's something that's just really important, and you can go up in the weight, and you can increase it, and you get better at it throughout a training cycle. And I think that's one of the things that you really have to focus on. Wherever your weight is, whenever you first start, just try to increase that over the course of, let's say, a 6-week cycle. And at the end of the 6-week cycle, you can kind of reset, and then you can figure out where your next starting point is going to be. And I feel like that's the best way to build strength. And you don't want to go like too much, but it is a good way to just kind of build some strength and make sure you're staying on top of things and make sure your legs are functioning properly and doing the best thing they possibly can whenever it comes race day. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some ribs. We got everything set up here. Strength training is one of those things that can't be neglected. And when it's neglected, you actually end up getting hurt, you get injured, something happens where you're just not performing at your best. For me, I feel like strength training is just one of the most important things that you can do as a runner, and it'll help you stay healthy, it'll help you keep running longer, it'll help you feel stronger whenever you're on your runs, whenever you get deeper into those long runs. Whenever you're 15 miles into an 18-mile run and you've been strength training, you just know that you have that ability to go from 15 to 18, and like, it just helps you feel so much better during your runs, and it helps you stay healthy, and it helps you just avoid injury. And so for that reason, I feel like strength training is just one of the most important things that can't be neglected in a good running plan. If you have any workouts or strength routines that you really like, drop them down in the comments. I'd love to see what everybody else is doing. I'm also gonna drop down my secondary strength routine that I usually do on my second day out of the week. I'll put that down in the comment section. If you have any questions about that, just feel free to ask, and hopefully I can clear that up for you. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, comment what your favorite part was, comment what your favorite exercise is, and I will see you guys in the next one.